Hey guys, I'm back doing another review, but this time it's not on a game or a controller or anything like that. Instead, it's on a movie that recently happened, and the reason I'm doing a movie is because it's actually based on a game that a lot of people have wanted in terms of an anime. I know that there was a Pokemon anime previously, but people wanted a Pokemon anime based on the games themselves. So when we finally got Pokemon Origins, a lot of people were excited for it. And I was actually like, hey, that's pretty cool. I wasn't exactly excited for it. The only reason that I watched it was because a lot of my friends said, oh my god, it's like amazing, it's pretty good. And I was like, I'll wait for the English dub, but since my friends were going to talk about it, I was like, wait, let me watch it first. And I did, and it was pretty amazing. And in terms of no spoilers so far, if you have not watched it, I will be talking about a lot of spoilers. But before I get that, basically, if you like Pokemon, any Pokemon, whether you like the cards, the the anime, with Ash. The games, the manga, you will enjoy this special, and I loved it personally because it took a lot of elements that happened within the games and basically made it into a full-length anime movie, basically within 4 episodes, and that's pretty cool. And this special overall was pretty amazing, and now I'm going to get into the spoilers, basically break down what happened within all of these 4 episodes. So yeah, if you guys do not want spoilers, just stop watching the video, watch the special first, and then come back. So yeah, first off, we have our hero Red. Of course, he is the protagonist within this movie, and of course within the games as well. We have Red, and then of course we have our rival Green. Now, um, they all get called to Professor Oak's place, and basically they are becoming Pokemon trainers. And their mission is to go and collect all 149 Pokemon within this Pokedex, and that is pretty awesome. And of course, they get their own starters. Red gets Charmander because, of course, his name is Red, and instead of Green getting Bulbasaur, he gets Squirtle because Squirtle is a lot better than Charmander in terms of super effective and all that. So yeah, we get all that, and Red, Red, he immediately gets into the mission. He's like, okay, try to go and get this Pokemon, get a Pikachu, get a Rattata, get a Pidgey, all of that stuff, and he encounters Green, and they basically have a battle, and he loses. And the reason being is because later on, Brock, he was actually watching that entire battle the whole time, and when Red like ran away, Brock followed him and basically told him a couple things about Pokemon that he probably doesn't know. And first off, that when you are battling with your Pokemon, they're basically your partners, and all that kind of stuff that basically was in the anime with Ash. And yeah, that is pretty cool. And he also tells them about the Pokemon centers, and you basically heal your Pokemon, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, and then he heads to the gym, and he does not realize that the person that he met before is actually the leader of the gym. So so then he walks into the gym with Brock, and Brock asks, "How many badges do you have?" And of course he has zero, and he has I believe 6 Pokemon that he could choose from. If you have all 8 badges, he'll choose all 6, I believe, or something like that. And of course he had zero, so he only picked two. And I feel like that they should do that within the games themselves. And what I mean by that is that they you could choose whichever gym you want, and you could start whichever gym you please. Like within the Mega Man series, you could choose any Robot Master at first. And I feel like that they should do that within a future Pokemon title. Basically, choose whichever gym you want, and depending on how many badges you have at the time, that is the level of their Pokemon and the amount of Pokemon that they will use. And I find that pretty interesting. That is not a point that I brought up myself, but that was a point that one of my friend's brothers brought up. Like, he was talking about, well, why do we all have to start at the same gym? Don't every single Pokemon trainer start at a different point? Like Red, he starts in Pallet Town. What if a trainer starts in Lavender Town or something like that? Like, we all start at different points, so that would be pretty cool if they did that at one point. Game Freak, if you are watching this, listening, hear this kind of point. Basically, choose whichever gym you want at first, and then at the end you go face the Elite Four. That'd be pretty cool. You basically, oh, instead of going to the first gym, which you could just go to the fifth gym or something like that. That'd be pretty cool if they do that within a future Pokemon Center. But anyways, Red, he wins the Pokemon battle because of the things that he was taught by Brock, having faith within your Pokemon, having love, all that kind of stuff. Basically, they are your partners, and then Red heads off to the other gyms. And they do not go in depth into those other gyms like I wish they did, but that would take up a lot more time. And I understand because this is basically a 4 episode special. And throughout this adventure, Red he does encounter Team Rocket here and there, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that is pretty cool. And then once Red hits Lavender Town, we really pick the story up. And when he goes to the Pokemon Center to go and heal his Pokemon, he learns about the Pokemon Tower and the Pokemon House. And first off, Red goes to the Pokemon House because that's what the nurse told him. Before you head off to the Pokemon Tower, head to the Pokemon House, and he did. And that's basically a place where they treat abandoned Pokemon and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. And then Red sees this Cubone, which he looks really angry, unlike the other Pokemon, which are like having fun and everything. This Cubone has a very sad story, which actually got my feels. I wasn't crying, but I was like, "Oh my God!" Like that really like hit my feels. And basically, what happened is that the Cubone was getting chased by Team Rocket, and when he was cornered, his mom, Marowak, basically risked her life to go and save him. And now he's not very, how can I say this? He's not very trustworthy towards other humans other than Mr. Fuji. And speaking of Mr. Fuji, he went into the Pokemon Tower, and now he's held captive by Team Rocket because Team Rocket, uh I'm assuming a couple days back before Red got there, they invaded the Pokemon Tower and basically made that their home, and now there are ghosts haunting it and stuff like that. And yeah, now Red he's going to head off to the Pokemon Tower, but Green's already on his way since he already overheard his conversation when he was at the Pokemon House. And now when Red gets to the tower, he learns that the ghost that has been haunting that tower was the Marowak, Cubone's mom, which is pretty cool. And the reason that Marowak was awakened was because Team Rocket showed up, and yeah, thanks to Team Rocket, they basically awakened Marowak and basically haunted the entire place. And then Red kicks them out. He beats all of them, saves Mr. Fuji, and yeah, that's pretty cool. And then before Red leaves, Mr. Fuji gives him 2 orbs, which we do not know at the time, and then a Poke Flute to go and get the Snorlax out of his way later. So yeah, and then of course Red heads to the other gyms, encounters Team Rocket, and he, and Red encounters Team Rocket when he is saving someone that works at the S- Self Sovco. I'm assuming, yeah, Sovco basically, and that's basically the company that is working on Master Balls. And the reason that Team Rocket ambushed them was because the Master Ball could basically capture any Pokemon with ease, and that is pretty cool. And then Red tries to save the tested Pokemon that are being tested on these Master Balls, and then he faces off Team Rocket, and he faces off the head leader, Giovanni, and he gets his butt kicked. He loses, and then he realizes that he needs to go and get stronger. And of course, after that, Red's like, all right, need to go and get stronger. He heads out to the other gyms and all that kind of stuff. And when he gets to the last gym, he realizes that the gym leader is Giovanni, the head of Team Rocket. And as the battle goes on, when he faces him, the head of Team Rocket, Giovanni, he learns that Red is basically like him when he was younger, which is pretty cool. And that's a lot of character development, which we haven't seen a lot of from the other characters. I mean, we've seen a lot of Red because he is the main protagonist. We haven't seen Green develop as much as a character. But he's basically two-dimensional how I see it. He's basically the same. He's a jerk. He's trying to be the best, be better than Red, and all that kind of stuff. But with Giovanni, he actually as the battle goes on and when he loses, he learns that Pokemon are more than just money, and he wants to have a new life with his new appreciation for Pokemon. And like I said, Red wins, and Team Rocket is now disbanded because Red will not take the badge from the head leader of Team Rocket. And he's like, okay then, well, we're breaking up. No more Team Rocket. And he basically gives the badge to Red, and he's like, oh, okay, I'm cool with that. So, yeah, and now that he has all the badges, he can now go face the Elite Four, and he defeats all of them. And it's not in depth. It basically a couple screenshots, a couple of animations of each battle, which I'm fine with. I don't really care about that because the Elite Four are not the main characters, and those aren't the fights that I'm watching it for. I'm basically watching it for Red, seeing him become stronger as the journey moves on, and that's what I got really. So, anyways, now he needs to go and defeat the new champion, which is Green, and Green has always been one step ahead of him throughout this entire adventure. So Red, he defeats Green because, like I said earlier, Red, he now has a lot of faith and love within his Pokemon, and that's how he won. And now that Red is the new champion, he still has a mission to go and fulfill for Professor Oak and collect all 149 Pokemon for the Pokedex. And when Red completes it, he actually does complete it. He tries to show Professor Oak, but he was watching off, but he was watching Green because he had an accident with a newly discovered Pokemon. And this newly discovered Pokemon turns out to be Mewtwo. And Red tells Professor Oak about it after he read a journal within the Pokemon Mansion, and yeah, that was pretty cool. And then Red goes off, tries to go and capture this newly discovered Pokemon Mewtwo, but all of his Pokemon fall, like every single one, even the legendaries like Articuno. He had Articuno on his team and he lost. So, I mean, that happened, and his last Pokemon was Charizard. He sent him out. He fell along with Red, like Mewtwo pushed Charizard out of the way, but Red was right behind him, so they both got pushed into the water. And then right when Red was about to give up, Charizard was like, I'm not giving up." And then with the orbs that Red had earlier, it Charizard turns into Mega Charizard, which is freaking awesome, and I love that. The fact that they brought in a element that was newly introduced within Gen 6 into this movie was pretty awesome, and I love that. And with the Mega Evolution of Charizard X, they defeat Mewtwo and capture him. And yeah, yeah, that was pretty awesome. And after that, he's like, "I want to catch Mew," and that's where the movie ends. And if there's like a extra episode or something where they basically go into on how Red captured Mew or something like that, I'd be fine with that. But if they make like a whole sequel and we follow the adventures of Gold within Gen 2, that would be freaking awesome. And I would love that. If they did that, that would be freaking awesome. And I'm pretty sure they will. Hopefully they will, because from the success of Pokemon Origins, I mean, from the hits I'm seeing on YouTube, a lot of people are actually watching it. Like, there's like a 500,000 views on the first episode of Pokemon Origins, which is freaking awesome. And yeah, I do really hope that they make a sequel. Hopefully they catch up to maybe the current generation, and basically we get to see the entire game within an anime form, and that would be freaking awesome. And this movie is actually coming dubbed in the US, so I can't wait for that to come out because I really want to rewatch it again with the English dubs with Professor Oak and Brock and Misty and all of them. I mean, Misty was there, but she was one of those gym leaders that they didn't go too in depth about. So yeah, overall, this movie must watch to any Pokemon fan, and yeah, it's really good. And overall, I'll probably buy it on DVD once the English dub comes out. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the entire Pokemon Origins movie. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button for new videos up every Saturday, and drop a like to go and show your support. I will be frequently updating my future videos on Facebook and Twitter. And I think that's about it. And thank you guys for watching this video again. And I'll see you guys next time on more videos. Game on, gamers.